What's up, y'all? It's your man Chazz Ellis once again. Y'all know me already. And if you don't, you will in a minute. All right. Um, a question that I get from a lot of guys, and something that I talk to a lot of guys about, is really just being trapped in this perpetual cycle of the friend zone or dealing with a woman who they're interested in, but the girl is using them for money, emotional support, sometimes entertainment, sometimes, and I get this with women too, but this is the guy channel, so we're gonna talk about this. Um, just using them for different things, and the dude never gets to smash. See, a fair exchange is no robbery. So if you got a woman that's using you for money, you smashing, you having a good time, everything's feeling good, everything's great, nobody is wrong in that situation. Just like if a woman got a man, he using her to hit whenever he wants to, but he's taking care of her financially. Nobody's losing in that situation. Everybody's winning. You're getting what you want, and they're getting what they want. My dad used to always say that a fair exchange is no robbery. But unfortunately, with a lot of you guys, you're trapped in a situation, whether it's your own doing or not, but you're trapped in a situation where you're with somebody, they've been dealing with somebody. A lot of times you've been dealing with her for 3, 4, 5 years. Some of y'all have gone through different cycles with different women, where it's the same thing over and over again. You've consistently found yourself in a situation where you're doing stuff for that girl and she ain't doing a damn thing for you. She got a boyfriend in some cases. She got some dude that she's off and on with, been off and on with for like 3, 4 years. And here you go, paying bills, a shoulder to cry on, taking her to the zoo, cooking for her, helping her mama in the nursing home. You doing all kind of things for this person, and you really are getting nothing in return. Even if you were to call them in case of an emergency, they wouldn't even be there for you. They'd be like, well, can't you call somebody else? What's wrong with you? Why don't you get somebody else? Now, when I talk about smashing and I say 5 reasons why she won't let you smash, a lot of people will say, is that all there is? Is that all you care about? I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people say that, and here's the thing. If you're not smashing, 99 times out of 100, somebody else is or will be shortly. The relationship is generally not solidified. Now, of course, you got some people who are really religious, and I'm not talking about just became religious because it's a strategy. I'm talking about they've been religious for a long time, and this is what they're doing. They've been religious their whole lives. That's a very, very small percentage of the population, and that type of person generally isn't going to be asking you for anything. They're generally not going to be trying to use you. They're going to be giving as well. If you got a person who's just kind of taking, and not giving anything in return, I guarantee you, it's not a situation where you're 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 ever going to move forward towards a relationship. It's not going to happen. So most of the time when you're trapped in this perpetual cycle of the friend zone is for these 5 reasons. And these are things that you can actually do to change your situation. I'm going to go along and just kind of tell you about them. All right, the first reason is you probably led with money. Even if you don't have a lot of money, even if you are flat ass broke, you probably led with money anyway. And what I mean when I say that is you probably try to spend some money impressing her on a first date. You probably try to flex some money on the gram that you really didn't have. You probably try to tell her things that would lead her to believe that you had some bread even though you didn't. You probably did certain things to make her feel that there was going to be a financial exchange here, or you did give her bread right off the top, and now she has no reason to sleep with you going forward. She has no reason to do anything in terms of building a relationship with you going forward because she's already got the bread. And not only that, it would be stupid for her to do something for you going forward when the reality is she wouldn't get as much money most likely. If you've led with the money, especially when you don't really have it like that, and you can't make an exchange where it's an exchange of goods and services, you know what I mean? If you're not able to do that, then you got to remember, when she gets the bread, she's thinking to herself, the only way I'm gonna keep this dude giving me money is if I don't let him smash. The only way I'm gonna keep giving this dude to give me money is if I make him feel like I like him, but then I really, may not like him that much. So it's gonna be a thing where she's gonna keep stringing you along in a lot of cases and keep on trying to do everything in her power to get you to keep hanging out with her without ever letting you smash. So as a man, you gotta understand it's in her best interest a lot of times to keep getting whatever she can get from you without doing anything for you, without giving you anything in return. I know that sucks, but can't be out here getting mad. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Understand the game at least. So for her, if you've led with money, she knows that you led with money. She knows you're trying to impress her in some kind of way. She has absolutely no reason to let you smash after that. None whatsoever. It actually makes more sense for her not to let you smash. So that's usually the biggest thing that guys do. The first thing that guys do is they try to lead with money. And when they lead with that bread, they usually end up in a situation where they're trapped in the friend zone for as long as they're willing to stick around. The next thing is, when you do lead with money, or even if you don't, if you lead with some type of provisioning, whether it is just being a shoulder to cry on, telling her what she wants to hear, that kind of stuff, whether it is entertaining her, these are things that women will often use you for without wanting to really be in a serious, real relationship with you. A lot of times, what will happen is when you lead with whatever your provisioning is, then you'll turn around and not be direct. A lot of women will let you smash if they know that that's going to be the exchange. Men often don't understand that women want the things that you have. If you were willing to give them for free, or you make it seem like you're willing to give them for absolutely nothing in return, obviously they're going to take them for absolutely nothing in return. So if you over here like, yeah, girl, I'm buying watches, I'm buying cars, I'm taking you on trips, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, and I don't really want nothing in return. I'm one of the nice guys. If that's what you're selling, then you can't get mad if she believes you. And she's like, well, he didn't want nothing in return. He took me to Turks and Caicos, and he didn't want nothing in return. He sat there with me all night while I cried over my ex-boyfriend, and he didn't want nothing in return. You told her that, or you led her to believe that by not being direct. So you can't get mad if she takes advantage of that because you are offering it. How you gonna get mad at somebody if you sitting over here offering pies? Yo, you want a pie? You want a pie? And you just making the pies and you offering them, you putting whipped cream on them, ice cream and all that. And then they eat the pie, get up and leave. And you're like, what? Yo, so you ain't gonna give me no money for the pie? You didn't ask for money. You didn't ask to get paid for the pie. You offered it as if it was free. You gave it to the person as if it was free. So you have to start being direct. If you're gonna lead with money and give money to somebody, then you gotta think to yourself, okay, if this relationship wouldn't exist without money, or this connection, or us spending time together wouldn't happen without money, I'm gonna use the power that I have, which is the money that I have. And I'm gonna just be direct and say, look, you looking for somebody gonna spend money on you? I'm looking for somebody that's gonna look out for me. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna show me a good time. That's not a crime. That's just being honest and upfront. Hey, I'm looking to spoil somebody. I'm looking to be spoiled. You looking to be spoiled financially? I'm looking to be spoiled physically and otherwise. There's nothing wrong with that. That technically is a relationship. So if you tell her what you really want, you're going to get a lot more out of the situation. But if you're not direct, you're not going to get anything out of it. For some of y'all that might be on the stream, if y'all want to support it, hit me on my Cash App at Ask Chazz. That's Ask Chazz, 2 Z's. Make sure you hit me on that. So the thing is, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you like that person a lot and they like you and all that kind of stuff, normally the exchange flows pretty fairly anyway, if two people like each other about the same amount. But when you've introduced things like money, when you've introduced things like a person is kind of going through some stuff and they need a shoulder to cry on, when you've introduced things like a person just wanting to be entertained and having somebody who's willing to do that, when you've introduced utility, like fixing stuff for somebody, you know, doing things around their house, mowing their lawn, stuff like that. When you introduce those things into the relationship, now there's a bigger chance for it to become unbalanced. And that's what often happens. And when you're not direct and saying, look, these are the things that I want. Yeah, I mowed your lawn today, you know, but I'm looking for somebody that's gonna cook me something to eat. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna let me smash. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna, and if they say no, give them a chance to say no. See, a lot of times with guys, you're so afraid that somebody's gonna say no that you don't go through the no's till you get to a yes. Okay, she said no. Okay, but you didn't spend a whole bunch of money. You didn't mow her lawn every week or two. You didn't take her out to different places. You didn't do all this all extra stuff that you really didn't want to do. You asked for what you wanted up front. You told her what the exchange was going to be. Because when somebody starts especially asking you for stuff up front, you already know what it is. If you ask a girl on a date, she says, well, you got to cash at me for my nails. You got to cash at me for the Uber. You got to cash at me for me to get a dress to wear. You got to cash at me for my makeup. My kids need a baby, you know, whatever. If you got somebody asking you for all of these different things before you go on a date, you can say no and never go out with the person, never talk to them. Or you can understand that this is an exchange. So if you really like me like that, would you really be asking for all of this stuff? No. So let's just cut to chase. Let's just cut to the chase. Look, we don't need to play this little silly game. You want financial stability. So I just told you I'm willing to give it to you. So if I'm willing to give it to you, what do I get? I don't want to hear, oh, well, I'm be 19. No. Look, let's just call it what it is. I'm smashing. I'm not taking you out because you don't really want to go out, right? You want to get money and you want to be entertained. You know, I'm not trying to do that. Go get someone else to entertain you. This is what I'm going to do. If you just be real with yourself, and now say you don't have money, but you do have the ability to be funny, kind, and entertain somebody, and you go over to the house with them a couple times, and it's just like, it seemed like all they want to do is just have you entertain them. They're not really talking about nothing that you're interested in. They just sitting there waiting for you to entertain them. That's when you start saying, hey, you know, I'm having a good time with you, but what's up? When's it going to be physical? What's going on? Or, you know, whatever move you need to make. That's what you do in that situation. If they're not with it, then it's like, oh, I understand you're not with it, but, you know, go silent on them. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you keep doing something you don't want to do? Why would you keep coming over to somebody's house, hanging out with them, having them come over your house, hanging out with you, and doing something that you don't want to do? You don't want to spend time with them because it's not cool, you're not having fun. They're not entertaining you, they just expect you to entertain them. Why do you keep going over there? Tell them exactly what you want. If they refuse to do it or they don't want to be involved in that type of relationship you're looking for, then just call it a day. I appreciate you. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for the moments that we had. Simple as that. So be direct. If you want things to change, if you want to be able to smash, you got to be direct. Yo, this is what I'm looking for. It don't got to be in those type of words, but make sure it's in no uncertain terms. Don't beat around the bush. Don't be fake. Don't call it something else that it is. Don't let somebody get you feeling like you got to say something different than what you really want. Be direct. You'll be a lot more successful. That works in sales. It works in everything. If you're direct, you're far more likely to get what you want than if you just kind of beat around the bush and don't say what you want. A lot of guys struggle to get to smash because you're with a chick and you don't have any other options. You're in a situation with a woman where you're dealing with her on a regular basis. This is a lot of times what happens even with women, and this is why you see women having options more often. A lot of them like, yo, I'm single till I'm married and all that kind of stuff. And people will get mad a lot of times when people say that. Like, I'm single till I'm married, and until I get married, I can be taken at any time. You hear women say stuff like that, and people get mad, understandably, because a lot of times they want the dude to be in a relationship while they're still single. I get that part. But if you don't have any options, then you don't have any leverage. A lot of you guys have been putting the time in on the same girl since high school, and you don't give anybody else a chance. You got some girl that you've been putting on a pedestal like Spider-Man and Mary Jane since high school, and that sounds cool on a movie or something like that, but the problem is, if you're not getting it anywhere else, and this is the only hope that you possibly have, a lot of times you're not going to see the signs that it's never going to happen. A lot of times you're just going to keep investing and investing and investing. Like my grandmother used to say, throwing away good money after bad. A lot of times we'll use what we've already done and what we've already invested as a reason to invest more. You ever see like a gambler, right? Like a degenerate gambler. They'll go and they'll bet like a lot of money on something. Say it's a dice game. They're going to put the money out on a dice game. Boom. They crap out, lose everything. Instead of going, damn, I crapped out, I lost everything. Let me just not gamble for a while or never. Nah. What they're going to do is they're going to go borrow some money from somebody. They're going to go take money out of their account. Whatever they need to do, they're going to come back and they're going to bet twice as much trying to get back even. Then, when they lose that money inevitably, now that's when they start borrowing from loan sharks, stealing from people, and all that kind of stuff. It's because they're just so invested in that one thing going well. When you're so invested in somebody and they have given you no reason to invest in them, and you refuse to look at other options, you put this person on this pedestal as if they don't give you the box, nobody can. Well, of course, now you're in a situation where you have no choice but to tolerate anything. If they want to steal from you, you gonna tolerate it. If they want to go talk to their boyfriend that they broke up with, supposedly broke up with, they're gonna go talk to that person again. You're just gonna accept it. You'll be driving that person to that dude's house. Everybody says they wouldn't do it, but if you're so invested in that person, that's the only option you have, you're gonna convince yourself some kind of way that it's cool for you to drive them to their ex-boyfriend's house, really current boyfriend. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to do it. And what ends up happening is they keep on using you in that way. And since you don't have the options, you can't look left, right, and find somebody else or have something else to fall back on, I should say, really. Or have just people that you just, are on the same level. The thing that you run into is, even if you see it and you know it's messed up, because a lot of times you're not stupid. They're not playing you because you're stupid. They're playing you because you are overly invested with no other options. And you see everything they're doing. It's not like some mastermind type move. You see every single thing this person is doing to you, but you don't have any other options. This is something I talk to women about also. When you have no other options other than a person who's not treating you right, you're going to accept it. Ultimately, you're going to accept it, especially when you've invested so much on the front end. If you sat there and you already spent money on a girl you didn't have, you've been there for her, letting her cry on you. Oh, baby, I love you. You're right. He was so wrong for that. Oh, they're all jealous of you. If that's what you've been doing for the last 6 months with no other options at all, you've been scared to ask to smash, what do you expect? What do you expect? Of course you were going to accept anything at this point. Of course you're going to let her get away with anything. It goes without saying. You've already been with this person for the amount of time that you've been with them. You've been dealing with them. You've been letting them get away with it. You haven't tried any other options because you're scared to lose her. Man, if I go talk to another girl, even though this ain't really my girl and she's never let me smash, if I go talk to somebody else, I might lose her. So what if you did? So what if you did? Didn't she tell you that her last boyfriend cheated on her 5 times and then she's still chasing behind him? So if she liked you, that means you could at least not be in a relationship with her for real, talk to some other girl, and she would be chasing behind you. Wouldn't she? If you and her ex-boyfriend are on the same level, he cheated on her 5 times, she's still chasing behind him. If you talk to another girl where y'all not even really together, that's going to totally destroy the opportunity of a relationship? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even add up. So that's only because you just never were there to begin with. All right, if y'all want to support the live, hit me up on my Cash App, Ask Chazz, just like Ask Chazz Ellis, but it's all one thing, Ask Chazz, all right? Make sure you check that out. Let me go to the comment section. You know, I'm gonna put on my glasses so I can see what's going on because these words are small. Oh, we got me along. Do a video about the female version of being stuck in the friends with benefit zone situationship of this on your main show. Okay. I beat around the bush. I see what you did there. That was really accidental. That was really accidental. I feel like about my dad right now being accidentally funny. What's up, Chazz? How's life, man? I'm good, James. I see you see me everywhere I go. Wherever I go, he goes. Y'all probably don't even remember the My Buddy commercial. Hit a like if y'all remember the My Buddy commercial. Put a smiley face or something if y'all remember that. Trinidad. Oh, okay. What's up? What's up? Fans all over the world. That's what's up. All right. If you in the house, say what's up to me. You know, for the YouTube algorithm so they don't just kick me up out of here. Say what's up to your man, Chazz Ellis. I'm going to do shout outs. So say what's up. All right, let's get back into this. So for some of y'all who may have missed, let's do the recap. A lot of y'all who not smashing, you leading with money. There's nothing wrong with spending money on somebody if that's what you so choose to do. But you got to understand, if you're leading with money, the person is going to want to keep getting money. Appreciate you, James. You a real one, bro. If you're leading with money, the person is going to want to get more and more money. That's just the reality of life. So if you're doing that, it's fine, but you got to realize that you got to have enough so you don't run out, and then you got to go back and be direct. That's the next thing. If you're not being direct, then whatever you're exchanging, whether it's money, time, entertainment, a shoulder to cry on, emotional support, if these are the things that you're giving her, utility, where you're fixing stuff for her, stuff like that, if these are things that you're giving her and you're not being direct, you're just going to exchange, you're just going to give with no exchange. She feels like her time is the exchange. She feels like, I'm talking to you, I'm hanging out with you, ain't that enough? Because you didn't tell her what you wanted and what would be a proper exchange for you. You got to ask. Like, you gotta say, yo, baby, I'm trying to hit something. Period. You would be surprised how many dudes who talk like that to women, using those exact words, not even making it better than that. You would be surprised how many people talk like that and do smash. Because most of the time when you go out there and you do a whole lot of stuff and you don't really seem like you want anything in return, you seem fake. Like a lot of guys be like, why do these girls like bad guys? Why do these girls like like guys who just want to smash. They know all guys want to smash. So if you're pretending like you don't, then they just think you're fake. They think you're scared, which you are. You acting scared, bruh. If you're not being direct, you're being scared, which is an automatic turn off to any woman. So even if she was thinking about letting you smash, even if it was something that was in her mind, like, you know what, I'm 50-50, I'm on the fence, not being direct, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then pouting because she don't seem like she's wanting to let you hit, that's gonna make her physically unattracted to you. Physically unattracted to you. She is now turned off by you. She no longer wants to let you hit. She's no longer physically attracted. So when you're not being real and being direct, it puts you in the brother zone. You know, because, like, let's be real. Family members are the only people who just do stuff for you with really no expectation of anything. Even a friend expects you to get their back. Your parents do stuff for you when you're a baby, and they don't expect nothing because you can't do anything for them. When you got a baby in your arm, you giving them a little milk and you patting their little butt, you know, changing their diapers. They can't do anything. And you know it's going to be a couple decades before they would ever even think about being able to do anything for you. But you do it anyway because you love them. So when you do things for somebody to that degree and you're not really saying, this is what I want from a romantic standpoint, they're looking at you like you are a brother. They're looking at you like you're a father figure or something like that. They're just putting you in the, I would never talk to you, I would never date you zone. And once you get there, it's gonna be hell clawing your way out. Most of the time, how you start with a woman is gonna be how you finish. If you start on some shy, acting like a buster type shit, normally, by the time you've been with that woman for a while and you wanna try to switch it up, the relationship is gonna still end on you never smashing, being a buster, getting treated bad by the girl. It's gonna end that way, no matter how hard you try to change it. All right, the fourth thing that keeps you there, that keeps you from smashing, is fear of walking away. And most of the time, this is because you don't have options. When you don't have other options that you've been able to secure throughout the time you've been dealing with somebody who's not letting you smash, most of the time what ends up happening is because you don't have any other options, you generally become so afraid to walk away. And when you don't walk away, the person has no reason to change their behavior. So if you're sitting around, man, you know, I just feel like I'm trapped in the friend zone with you, and I feel like you'll never let me smash. I feel like you let this other dude and you like Tim better than me, and you still go back sometimes and you smash your ex. What about me? Instead of just being like, you know what, I'm not even gonna trip, I'm not gonna get mad, I'm gonna go silent on this person and exercise my other options. They're not really acting like they like me like that. You know what, cool, it's all good. Let me go talk to somebody else. Even if your options are just people that you can talk to, even if your options are just people that you're in the same boat with as this person, if you work all of them at the same time, one of them might say yes. I understand it's not that easy for every dude to have 3 or 4 girls that they can smash at any given time. You think I don't get that? I understand that. But the same way you got somebody that you can talk to, the same way you got somebody that you can give money to, the same way you got somebody that's looking for you for a shoulder to cry on, looking for you for utility, there's a million girls who will do the same thing. So all you got to do is talk to some of them. If she's not giving you anything back for what you're putting into that situation, give that same thing you're giving her to someone else. Just take it away and give it to them. You're not losing anything. You're not losing anything because, you know, it's like, okay, I was throwing you some money on Cash App every once in a while. Now I'm not. I'm giving it to this other bride. Same money. I was helping you mow your grass every other weekend. Okay, stop mowing her grass. Mow somebody else's. Simple as that. You're not losing anything because she's not giving you anything anyway. She's acting like you just there like the butler or something like that, and she's not even paying you. So I guess you're a slave. What like, hey, you're not doing anything for me, so that makes you even more replaceable. That makes it even easier for me to deal with somebody else. That's the cool thing about being with somebody who's not doing anything for you. If you're dealing with somebody who's not doing anything, you could just replace them at any time. You know what? Let me go talk to this other girl that I saw on Instagram. You know what? Let me talk to this other girl I saw at the mall. And the same way you led with money in that situation, if you wanted to have the same option, you could lead with money there too. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy this girl a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, don't start out buying nobody no damn Ferrari. That's where you gotta draw the line somewhere. Don't buy items that they would be so happy to have that they never need to talk to you again. Like, if y'all stop talking that day, they'd be like, who cares? I got a Ferrari. Somebody said, spin the plates, baby. That's from Rollo Tomasi. I don't know if he made that concept up, or not the concept, but the term up or not. But a guy named Rollo Tomasi was saying that. Yeah, you gotta have opportunities other than just that one person. You know, if you don't, then ultimately what ends up happening is they're disrespecting you by not. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but if they're getting something from you and not giving you anything back in return, they're disrespecting you. They're telling you that you are not worthy of what they would give anyone else, right? Or somebody they really liked. It's not their fault, though, that they're disrespecting you. You're disrespecting yourself by wanting something and not directly asking for it. You are also disrespecting yourself. And when you disrespect yourself, everybody else disrespects you. That's the way disrespect works. 9 times out of 10, when you see somebody who consistently gets disrespected, like say you at a job, right? And the boss comes in and he just starts yelling at somebody. You'll notice that it's usually the same 1, 2, maybe 3 people, depending on how big the company is. He usually doesn't go around just yelling at everybody. And if he does, everybody's responding the same way, and there's usually 1 or 2 people who don't respond by letting him get away with it. And he don't yell at them. He doesn't yell at them. There's a reason for that. Normally, if somebody's disrespecting you consistently, it's because they already know that they can get away with disrespecting you and keep the same relationship that they've always had. If your boss comes in and yells at you and you're like, yo, I don't play like that. Could he fire you? Maybe. But normally no boss is in a position where he could just fire you. Like, oh, I'm gonna yell at you, I'm gonna disrespect you, and if you say something about it, I'm gonna fire you. You know, every place pretty much has employment rules and regulations. Even right to work states, you can't just fire people for absolutely nothing. They make it seem like you can, but if you're a business owner like I am, it don't really work like that. You can't really, they say you can, but you can't really just fire somebody for nothing. You got it, because if you fire somebody for nothing, they can fill in the blanks. If you don't have any reason to fire the person, they can fill in the blanks and they can create patterns. So my point is, if you stick up for yourself, most of the time people will respect you. And if they don't, you don't want to be around them anyway. So if you're with somebody and the girl's sitting there saying, I'm not giving you the box, I see you as a friend, you're more like a brother to me. I'm not your brother. And you got a brother, why ain't you asking him to do this stuff? You don't ask your brother for money, why are you asking me for money? You don't ask your brother to come put up your shelves, why are you asking me? So when you're getting that type of vibe from somebody, what you got to start asking yourself is, how did it get to this point? It's not just because you don't have other options. It's because you were never direct. It's because you led by giving her stuff. And you don't have other options. And you're afraid to walk away. How many times a girl got to tell you no? Or how many times a girl got to make you feel like you about to smash and you never get to before you just walk away from the situation? It's kind of like you got a woman who been wanting to be in a relationship with a man. I want to be in a relationship. I want us to be in a relationship. And dude like, yeah, you know, we gonna get there, baby. We gonna get there, baby. We gonna get there. We gonna be in a relationship at some point. But you know, I gotta get this taken care of. I gotta go talk to my ex for a little while. And just keep doing this to the girl, setting her up to make her think that, oh, we're gonna be together, and then not doing it. If she never walks away from that situation at all, it's never gonna stop. Dude gonna just smash whenever he feels like it, hit her with them pumps, bang, 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 sell her some more promises, and he gonna stop talking to her again and again, and come right back because she refuses to stop talking to him. She refuses to just be like, you know what, let me go find something else to do. If you won't find something else to do, the girl has no reason to change her behavior. Why should she change when she can still get money from you whenever she wants, get you to do stuff for her whenever she wants, cry on your shoulder whenever one of these dudes dog her out, the one she does let hit? Why would she let you hit? This is the thing about a lot of guys trapped in the friend zone. Why would she let you hit when the dudes that she lets hit play her? And the longer you've been around watching these dudes play her, the less chance you got. So if you've been around 5 years watching dudes play her smash and dash, she is even less likely to let you smash because you're the only person she has to cry on when that happens. You have put yourself in a position where you are more disposable as a relationship than you are as a friend. She has no reason to enter into a relationship with you because she's getting the relationship basically because y'all hang out, y'all do all that kind of stuff, you entertain her, you act like a boyfriend, but since she never lets you smash, you always be there whenever she calls. She lets these other dudes smash because this is her opportunity this is what they require in order to give her their time. So she might try to do them the same way she's trying to do you. She may be like, look, we need to hang out, but you know, you need to do this for me, you need to do that for me. Like, you know what, I don't really got time. I'll holler at you some other time. She talks to him again. Well, we gonna hang out, are you gonna do this, are you gonna do that? Nah, I'm busy. So she gets the hint and goes, so I was thinking about coming over your house and Netflix and chill. You gonna bust it down? Yeah, I'm with it. She come over the crib, she busts it down. She does everything this man wants her to do. Then, obviously, he probably doesn't call her again, or maybe calls her a couple times whenever he wants to smash for a month or so. When that dries up, that situation just goes bad. Now, she back calling you again. Hanging out with you. She might have been hanging out with you the whole time, complaining about him. I can't believe, he just, as soon as he get done, he be like, yo, what you about to do? And then, I gotta call my own Uber. I gotta get in the car and drive myself home. Well, why? And you're like, what? Look at all the stuff I've done for you. Look at what I do when you come over here. I'm cool and I make your life happy. I make you French toast. I mean, why is it that you won't let me in? You answered your own question. Listen to what you say. And then think about it. Like, think about it. Think about it. Why is it that you let this dude who never did anything for you smash? But I'm doing everything for you and you won't let me smash. Ding, 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 ding. She have to let him smash for the chance to get him to do anything for her. By not letting you smash, she ensures the fact that you will continue to do everything for her. She's not a dummy. A lot of times these women play dumb. They're really not dumb. They play dumb. A lot of them will play the victim in these situations because they know if I come at you and say, oh man, you know, I made a mistake and I got played by one of these bad boys and all this kind of stuff, they already know you're going to sit out there and try to play Captain Saver and you're going to make them, you're going to put your cape on. Yeah, you know, these bad boys, you need to stay away from them, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to continue into your role as resident get played. You know, that they already know that. They're not dumb. A lot of times you think they're dumb and you want to believe they're dumb because they're making decisions that don't benefit you. But they're not dumb. They're making decisions that benefit them. And they're swinging for what they want because they know they have a backup. A lot of times women will go out here, and this is not as off topic as you might think. I was having a conversation with a dude about women who go get pregnant by basketball players, football players, just, you know, famous rich dudes and stuff like that. And he was like, man, it seems like these women would rather be some rich man's baby mama than somebody who make decent amount of money, not famous or anything, to be their wife. And I was like, yeah, not really. A lot of them feel like they can be both. And a lot of them have proven that they can. A lot of them are proving that they can. So a lot of them will say, I need to take a swing for a top level guy, whether it's physically, whether it's just that he knows a whole lot of girls and he's handsome or whatever the case. He might just be entertaining or cool or whatever the damn case is. He might have any of those type of things going for him. And a lot of women will say, I really want an opportunity with this type of person. But if it doesn't work out, I can always go back, hit him with a sob story, and get with Greg from accounting. I can always get with a hardworking dude, get back with that dude who liked me in high school, get back with that dude who liked me in college. Yeah, he gonna get on the internet. I never messed with a girl, she had a kid and all that kind of stuff. But in real life, most of the time, if you've been chasing somebody since high school, they had a kid, yeah, you're gonna be in your feelings, you're gonna be mad and all that kind of stuff. But if you got no other options, what else are you gonna do when they come back and say, I'm looking for you to marry me? You're gonna be like Forrest Gump. Jenny, I want to marry you and take care of your kid that may or may not be mine. You know, that's what you're gonna do in most cases if you're just being real. Because ultimately what happens is if you don't have other options, what else can you do? What else can you do? You're gonna convince yourself that what you're doing makes sense. Because for you it does. You don't have any other options. It's not to say, and especially if the girl still looks good, that's the reality also too. If the girl has 2 or 3 kids by some famous rich dude, now she has money to keep looking good. She has time on her hands because she's getting the child support or whatever. So she's gonna look good, even if it's like a guy that she knows that are known for a while that won't deal with her anymore. There's always gonna be another guy out there because she looks good that's still gonna mess with her. So just if you really look at it from a logistical standpoint, it makes more sense for these women to do that. It makes more sense for them to get good genetics from the good-looking dude that they really like, and then get the person who's stable to take care of the kid. I know that may not be what y'all want to hear. It may make you mad, but the reality is that's what a lot of them do because that's actually sensible. It makes sense. And a lot of dudes are going to raise that kid, regardless of what they say on the internet, regardless of whether or not they get mad, regardless of whether or not they try to say, oh, you know, you had a baby, you're done, and nobody wants you. There's plenty of women out here, if they still look good, especially. Now, if you had a baby, you went downhill physically, you got stress all on your face, you done gained a whole bunch of weight, you know, probably not then. I'm gonna be real with you. But if you still look good, you stay in the gym, take care of yourself, especially if the dude that you had the baby by got money so you can drive nice, dress nice and all that. Oh, of course, you're gonna find somebody else to take care of that baby. I mean, it's gonna happen. Let's go back to the comments. Once again, if you wanna support the live, go support me on Cash App at Chazz Ellis, all right? That's Chazz with 2 Z's. Or it's actually Ask Chazz, my bad. Played myself. Ask Chazz with 2 Z's, all right? All right, let me see what y'all saying here. It's time to DTB. What does that stand for? I don't remember anymore. Hey, put down Georgia. Let me know what that means. I don't remember what that means. Emotional tampon. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes that are out there doing that. What's up, Simply Deep 1985? Hey, my man with me on whatever channel I'm on. I'm seeing you here. I appreciate that. For some of y'all that's with me, no matter what channel I'm on, I appreciate you. Man, I'm good. I can't complain at all. Man, I'm live, you know. I'm doing a vertical live today. This is my first vertical live, y'all. So, never done it before. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So, if anybody's got questions for me, we're gonna go to one more thing, one more of the reasons, and then we're gonna hit the questions. All right. So you can start hitting your questions at the bottom right now. If you're liking what you're hearing, give me a thumbs up or a smiley face. And if you got any stories that you want to tell where you've been through any of these type of situations, put that out there, man. You help others when you tell your story. Okay, fake excuses, man. That's the 5th thing that'll keep you messing up, getting put in that situation with these women. A lot of times what ends up happening is you start making excuses for the girl. You've been caught up in the friend zone for a little while, especially enough time for you to feel embarrassed about it. And now you'll start making all kinds of excuses for whatever girl you deal with. Oh man, you know, she going through it right now, and she really like me, but her baby daddy, he manipulating her emotionally. Oh, no, she really liked me, but you know, she a born again Christian. It just happened 2 weeks ago. And then she keep going back and forth and sleeping with her baby daddy, but then becoming a born again Christian every time we start talking. You know, just it's stuff that sounds ridiculous to other people, but to you, you done made it make sense some kind of way. Oh man, no, she said that she just struggling because she been hurt to do the physical stuff and all that. Yeah, but I bet you it won't be a problem with the next dude. So a lot of times this is what happens where you start giving yourself these types of excuses and forcing yourself to stay in a situation because you don't want to admit that it didn't work out. This normally happens once you get to the point where you feel like you've been in the friend zone long enough to feel embarrassed. All right, so what else we got? Thank you, Simply Deep 1985. He says, I love your observation on stuff. Things I bring up be unrealistic as fuck. Nah, they'd be cool. They're cool. If a woman is only interested in you is sex, and time to time, meaning sure she will come and hang out, okay. But other than that, no other investment in a relationship is stagnant. Very rarely will you get a woman who's only interested in you as sex. That does happen. It happens every once in a while, but normally if a woman's only interested in you as sex, she go and just get a couple pumps and then, you know, keep it moving. Normally if that's happening, there's usually somebody else that she's in a relationship with. And that woman's not usually single. She might be telling you she's single. She might seem single, but normally that chick isn't single. Normally she's getting something from somebody else, whether it's provisioning, whether it's a shoulder to cry on, something. Normally she's getting something from somebody else that's making her do that. Because normally if it was just a sex situation, that's just not how women normally operate. They can only sleep with a dude for a certain amount of time. In most cases, obviously there's some people that's just been through so much in their life that they can actually just sleep with a dude off and on and not really care. But that's kind of rare for women. It's way more common for men to do that. But it does happen. But most of the time, the girl got some dude she's stuck on. The question: can a woman or your woman go overboard seducing you, depending on the circumstances? Can a woman go overboard seducing? In the beginning, I think you can. I think in the beginning, yeah. Because sometimes people do things you're really not comfortable with because it doesn't have anything to do with the trajectory of your relationship. So, and this is something I talk to women about. If you're dealing with a dude as a woman and you're trying to do stuff like that's a little too freaky or a little too forward and progressive with a person that you have never been on that trajectory with, like y'all have never done these type of things together. Y'all haven't walked your way up to these type of things. Then the person is like, where is this coming from? This is clearly about another dude and not about me. Like, obviously you're on some other type of time because you and I have never done anything to lead up to this. So you out here getting naked, tying yourself up to a hook that you done put on the door, and I'm trying to figure out why you're doing this when we have never done any of this bondage, any of this type of stuff. Where is this coming from? So in that case, yeah, I do think a woman may be a little bit too seductive for the person that she's with. You know, she might be going a little too far. Sometimes a woman can be a little bit too forward on a dude. Just like, you know, sometimes as a man, you could take it too far with stuff too. You know, anybody can take it too far. You know, just based on the relationship that y'all already had. Things have to progress somewhat naturally. It's kind of like you just met a girl and you ask her to marry you. She gonna be like, what's up with buddy? You know, I don't even really know you like that. Is that a me thing or a them thing? Okay, so James is asking about what he said about a woman using you for sex, it going off and on, the relationship being stagnant, and not growing. Man, that's really not. If the chick is letting you smash consistently, or even somewhat consistently, and the relationship isn't really going anywhere, there's nothing that you could really be doing to change that. Because she likes you enough to let you smash on a regular basis. But for some reason, she's not wanting to push the relationship further or want the relationship to go further. Really, is nothing you can do about that. Because if the girl likes you enough to let you smash, you can't be doing things that repulse her. It can't be that bad. So either she's looking for something that you're not willing to do for her or give to her, whether it may be a financial thing or whether it may be something that you just don't have to give or don't want to give. And if that's the case, it's not a you thing, because how is that your fault? Or if it's something you don't want to do, it can't be your fault, because you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's asking you to do something, because normally it's either they're dealing with somebody else or they're asking you to do something you don't want to do. And normally they're trying to angle for something bigger than what you're willing to give. Like, you might say, oh, well, let's move in together. And they want to get married. So they'll let you smash multiple times and then kind of disappear. Normally it's something, either they're dealing with somebody else or they're asking for something that you just not willing to give. And if you ain't willing to give it, that's a them thing, because you have your standards and reasons for what you want to do and don't want to do. And I totally understand not changing that. I wouldn't change that. It doesn't really add up or make sense to change it. So do we got any more? We got a few more minutes left. We got any more questions? Once again, if you want to support the chat, hit me on my Cash App at Ask Chazz. Also, go to ChazzEllis.com, man, if y'all want consultations. I got premium videos that I put out that'll help you with more detailed versions of some of the things y'all talk about, some of the things you might need some help with. How to get them to chase you was a great one. It'll really change the game for you in terms of how you deal with women, how you deal with employers, customers, everything. It's a real game changer, so make sure you check that out. So let's see, what else we got? So if you're in a situation where you feel like you've been talking to a woman for a lot of time, 2-3 years in some cases, maybe 6 months, especially if you're in the beginning where it's like only a couple months, you could turn it around. If it's only been a couple months, you could turn it around. Start being direct. Look at your options and say, am I dealing with this because I want to, or am I dealing with this because I feel like I have to? And if the situation's not changing, you don't have to walk away forever, but you can walk away. You don't have to walk away forever. But sometimes you want to distance yourself from a situation when it's not going the way you want it to, or going the way that you would expect for it to go. What you wanted in the beginning or what you thought it may be. Because sometimes you'll have ladies who will burn hot for you in the beginning and it'll make you think that you're about to smash, and then all of a sudden she just turns cold on you and you like, I thought you really liked me like that, but now you saying you see me as a brother or I'm a friend. And sometimes you're like, well, what did I do wrong to mess it up? Sometimes you did do something to mess it up. But sometimes, a lot of the times, the person never had any intentions of letting you smash. They never had any intentions of turning into anything more. They just knew if they burned hot, you would like them a lot and you would chase that opportunity over and over again over a longer period of time. See, a lot of times, if a woman make you think that she's physically attracted and wants to have a physical relationship in the beginning, like the first day or two or week or two that you meet her, a lot of times you will hold on to that in the thought of her being interested in you in that way for a long period of time. If you talk to most guys who've been in the friend zone for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 99.9% of the time, they're gonna tell you of a point in time where that woman seemed interested in a physical relationship. They're gonna tell you about a point in time where she seemed like she was going, and then all of a sudden, things just changed. She went from seeming to want something physical to really just kind of being like, I'm not interested in that. Or going cold on the guy. And sometimes you got women who will just go hot and cold. Every time they see you starting to feel like you want to break away, now they come kissing on you, hugging on you. Let's lay in bed together. They'll just start doing all kind of stuff to make you think that if I just held out for a little bit longer and stayed in this situation, then she would let me smash. She's not going to let you smash. It's never going to happen. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But if you've known this person and they've gone hot and cold on you multiple times, this version of the relationship will never end in any kind of a physical relationship. It'll never end in y'all being together where she don't go back and forth between you and some other dude. This version of your relationship will never end in that. The only way things will change is for you to leave and create a new relationship. The only way things will change is for you to go from only talking to her to talking to multiple other people to where she no longer feels comfortable or feels like you're just somebody she can keep coming back to. That's the only way things will change. If you stay in the same version of the relationship, you're basically doomed to this for the rest of your life. All right, so if we didn't have anything else, hit me on the Cash App, even when I'm not on this anymore. Ask Chazz is what the name of it is, if you want to just support what I did here. Also, leave comments for what you want to see next time I go live. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.